doing amazing things abroad as well. Jen Su, our entertainment reporter. Oh, I was so jealous. She was fortunate enough to meet up with South Africa's pride and joy, our very own Miss Universe, Zozibini Tunzi. We actually sat down to talk all things from meeting Sia Khaleesi after the Rugby World Cup to being recognized by media mogul Oprah Winfrey.
Oh.
We're here with the brand new Miss Universe, Zozibini Tunzi. I am so happy to be with you.
Hi, Jen.
Oh,
so
my
lovely
goodness.
to see you again in New York.
So think about this. When we were in New York together just a few months ago, it was your first international trip overseas for New York Fashion Week. You had just won the Miss SA title. And now you're back as Miss Universe.
And now I live here.
And now you live here. I mean,
now I live here.
Can we talk about a serious life transformation?
Yeah, I mean, for the past 4 months, my life has just transformed into something I can't even imagine, and I can't even explain to people how crazy it is that 4 or 5 months ago I was an intern at an advertising agency, and now I am Miss Universe living in New York.
But not only are you Miss Universe living in New York, you are a role model for young women, for women all over the world. I mean, your message was so strong and powerful. People resonated with what you had to say. Tell me about your year that you're expecting here for Miss Universe, and how you're going to bring that message across to all women in the world.
Yeah, so I'm so happy that I was able to start with it on stage, just to show people what I'm passionate about and things that are very close to my heart. And I'm very excited to see it through. I love how people welcomed it and were so receptive of the things that I had to say, which means, we really have a good start, and I'll be able to push it a bit more further with the platform. And it's going to be such an exciting year, Jen, and I can't wait to go on it.
Now, of course, we all know you from the Joburg social scene from years ago. I think about that time when you first entered Miss SA, 2017. You were in the top 26. When you re-entered for Miss South Africa 2019, you've changed, going back to your beautiful, natural African hairstyle, not so much makeup. It's a very different look. I want to know, what was that catalyst that made you say, when I enter now this year for 2019, this is the direction I want to be. This is my tone. This is my message.
So I think I immediately cut my hair after that first time of trying out for Miss South Africa. I think about 2 years ago, I was like, I'm just gonna cut my hair because I wanted to try something different, something new. And then I made the decision to come back to Miss South Africa, and I was faced with whether I would go back to having a weave. And because I had these conversations with these people who kept on asking me to change my hair, that's when I knew that there's a problem there. If you're gonna ask me to change my natural state for a beauty pageant, what it says to me is you don't think that that is beautiful.
Right.
The way that I look is beautiful. So if you're thinking that way, a lot of people in society are thinking that way, and we need to change, that kind of thinking. And, they took a chance on me, and now here I am.
And here you are. I think the world feels that. And, timing is everything. I mean, this is the time. This is the time to just be yourself. And what I love is that when, a lot of people that saw you, they don't know you, but they loved your message, and then they said, wow, I want to be like Miss Universe.
I love that so much. For me, it's not even about being like me, it's like exceeding me. Like, I'm not the stopping point. I'm not like where it is. You can see me and literally want to be more, and that's what I love about it. I love that it's trending, and I hope it stays there for such a long time so that young girls can, I want them to grow up listening to it. I want them to grow up looking at, different women and women who have so much to offer to society, so that they can know as well that they too can have so much to offer, that they can aspire to be more, and they can aspire to want to be leaders, because we need a lot of women leaders in the world today.
Now, I also want to ask you about Sia Khaleesi.
Oh, my goodness.
When the guys in South Africa won the Rugby World Cup, they brought that trophy home. How was meeting Sia and the guys?
I mean, it was like the most fantastic feeling ever, because we had just won the Rugby World Cup, and we had such a diverse team, and I think that's like the one thing that touched people so much, because in the past, that's not how the South African team looked like. And so for me to meet the team straight after they won was so inspiring, you know, especially under the leadership of Sia Kolisi, who grew up in so much poverty.
And also, was that in a similar area to you?
So we're both from the Eastern Cape.
So you're both from Eastern
We're both
Cape.
from the Eastern Cape, and he grew up in such terrible circumstances. One would think someone who grows up there would never, you know, make it out, and he pushed so hard, and his story is so true to many South African young children. And so for him to be able to achieve that and be the first, you know, black captain, the first black captain to hold the Ellis Webb Cup, every South African was touched by that story, because even they too have had to deal with so many issues and problems, and then they felt that in that moment they could overcome whatever it is that they were going through. And it was such a wonderful moment for our country. I do wish we could really fast track and get to a place where race will no longer be an issue, where we have so many moments where we can all celebrate together in our differences. And I really have so much hope for South Africa. I know, I see it happening every day. I see us moving forward. I see us trying to push through whatever barriers we're facing, and we will be the rainbow nation once again that we are known to be. And yeah.
Zozibini Tunzi doing the things,
What an inspirational young woman she is doing. I'm so proud at the moment. And of course, Jen Su getting to sit down and chat with her post Miss Universe. So jealous.
Can you imagine that transformation of life? Just one day you miss South Africa and you're going to represent the country, and then boom, you're catapulted to the very top echelons of what the pageantry industry is all about. It's
into that New York
unbelievable.
apartment, sending all your old clothes home because they got new clothes for you. Life is good.
But now the added responsibility as well, because now you're representing the universe essentially.
The beauty is that she really has a really good message and a really good cause. So now to have that go into the universe is beautiful.
And it's so authentically herself.
Very much so. I absolutely appreciate the fact that she's defying all odds and what beauty is all about.
Yes, Korean.
We stand. We stand.